Yes, my viewers and my subscribers, my Jamaican viewers and subscribers with the yard and abroad, and who no subscribe to the YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's as me post a video, y'all get notified, you see me. But as what me I got talk about right about now, it's a topic related to Kamala Harris and the race, you see me. Because if you should really check it out, why would we as a Jamaican citizen would bring back slavery into our own hand when we already heard what happened about our ancestors? So here what I'm going to say right about now, and I'm going to show you a video upon what I said, you see me. But here what I'm going to say, if Kamala Harris' parents are descendants of slave, 5 slave-owned plantation, why would we as the modern day citizens now would place Kamala Harris, on the presidential spot? No, she would bring back the same route that our own ancestors has bring upon us as Jamaicans. So right now I want y'all to watch this video and listen keenly, deeply, you see me, with knowledge and understanding, not understanding, because we don't stand up under no one. You see me? We are our own. No one defend us, we defend ourselves.
The Biden administration has been making calls to leading foreign, Canadian, European leaders. But you know what's interesting? The calls are being taken or made not by Joe Biden. No, Kamala Harris. Yeah. Oh my gosh, is Joe Biden's tenure in the White House already over? Is it time to move Kamala in and Joe out? Was this the plan all along? Well, I want to focus a little bit here on Kamala Harris, because she has been playing the identity politics card like there's no tomorrow. Let's look. Here is her conversation. She talks with Emmanuel Macron of France, and I'm reading from the readout. The Vice President thanked President Macron for his leadership on the issue of gender equality. And then we go to Kamala Harris's call with Justin Trudeau. During the call, the two leaders spoke about COVID, climate change, and diversity issues. So here's, of course, Kamala Harris, who is certifying this first black female in the White House, vice president, and all that stuff. Except this whole pose of Kamala Harris as a kind of global victim of racism is a fraud. Why? Because she's actually descended in a straight line from one of the largest, if not the largest, slave owners in Jamaica, a guy named Hamilton Brown, a white guy. Now, this all came out before the election. Kamala Harris's dad, Donald Harris, a well-known economist, actually a longtime professor of economics at Stanford University, and he published an article in a Jamaican magazine called Jamaica Online. You can find the article online now. And he talks about his own family history. And he goes that his grandmother was a woman named Christiana Brown, who was a direct descendant of, quote, Hamilton Brown, who is on record as plantation and slave owner and founder of Brownstown, Jamaica. Boom. Now, right away when this came out, it threatened to cause a scandal. I began to look into it. And of course, the left did its very best to try to dispute this. Because think about it, it means that Kamala Harris, far from being descended from slaves, is descended from the oppressor class. She's a beneficiary of white privilege. Now, the moment I pointed this out, there was an uproar, and of course, leftists like Nicole Hannah-Jones, the historian Kevin Levin, they start lecturing me. Oh, Dinesh, you are unfamiliar with the terrible history of rape on the slave plantation. Obviously, this slave owner raped one of Kamala Harris's maternal descendants, and so this is, if anything, a further reinforcement of Kamala's victim status. Except that these guys were too lazy to go and look at Donald Harris's original article, nor to check out the genealogical charts that are available online. I'm going to actually put one up so you can take a quick look at it. Take a look at this chart. This chart is also, by the way, available online. It's Kamala Harris's genealogy. And if you take a look, you see that you've got Kamala Harris, and you've got her parents, Shama Gopalan from India, and you've got her father, Donald Jasper Harris. Donald Jasper Harris is the grandson of Christiana Krishy Brown. But Christiana Brown married a guy named Joseph Harris. They're descended from a guy named Hamilton Brown. Now, this Hamilton Brown is the son of the slave owner Hamilton Brown. And this Hamilton Brown, the son of the slave owner, married a free woman called Mary Malvina Brown. So, bottom line, this is not about rape on the plantation. There wasn't any rape on the plantation involving Kamala Harris. Hamilton Brown, the son of the slave owner, married a free black woman, and through that line comes Kamala Harris. Now, Hamilton Brown himself owned 5 plantations and over 200 slaves. So once I pointed this out, I showed the genealogical charts. Historian Kevin Levin, to his credit, goes, "I was wrong and Dinesh is right. I'm deleting my tweet." As for Nicole Hannah-Jones, she deletes her tweet but says nothing. She pretends like, and this is the way a lot of media operate these days. They will update a story, but they never admit they were wrong. They don't have the decency to say, hey, I got it wrong. I accused Dinesh falsely. They won't do that. I also happen to have at my disposal, and I put this out on Twitter, a list of the names of the 200 slaves owned by Kamala Harris's ancestor. Think about it. These are all the true victims. Kamala is a fake victim. She's a pretend victim. In fact, she's the beneficiary of the stolen labor of these 200 people. So we'd like a little honest accounting from Kamala Harris. I'm not saying that Kamala Harris, by the way, is to blame for her ancestors. No. But if she doesn't deserve any blame for Hamilton Brown, nor does she deserve the fake credit of claiming to be an historical victim of racism and slavery, she's not. She's had privilege all her life, and she is the beneficiary. I don't know if you'd call it white privilege, but it's the privilege of being born into very favorable circumstances, going to private schools, having had an extraordinary education, having met a very powerful man, Willie Brown, attaching yourself to him, levitating your way up to power, ultimately making the right connections, running for DA, running for Senate, then making your way to the vice presidency. That's not a tale of victimization. It's actually a tale of crass opportunism.